Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Healing Conversations with Sherelle H. And I am back with another video for you guys tonight. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're notified when I drop these videos for you guys. I have another video in store for you guys tonight. And I am so excited about this video, y'all. And tonight's video is the beauty in the breakup. The beauty in the breakup. I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, wait a minute, Sherelle. There's beauty in breakups because no, I miss Johnny. I love Johnny. Johnny was my everything. Oh my God, I love him. I love him. I love him. Like we were supposed to get married. We were supposed to have kids and we had all these plans and now we're not together. Yeah, I get it. I know. I get it. Sometimes breakups can be sad. But I want you guys to look at the beauty in breakups sometimes. The beauty in the breakup. And the reason I'm talking about this tonight is because it dawned on me. I was bouncing ideas off my brain earlier about what my next YouTube video should be. And the beauty in the breakup just popped inside my head. And I told a friend about it and she was like, why are you going to talk about that? Why are you talking about breakups? I said, because it's an idea and because I went through a really brutal breakup in 2025, y'all. And I felt like, why not share my experience, but also tell you guys why there's beauty in breakups and it's not always this negative, bad situation when you go through a breakup. So I do want to get into that, y'all. So a lot of us do get out of a breakup and we think, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Me and Johnny was going to get married and all this stuff. And you have these moments of crying. Trust me, I was there last year. I was like, oh my God, we were engaged. Oh my God, we were supposed to get a house together. We were supposed to do all this, and none of it happened. And I was like, wait a minute, my world is over. I'm talking about y'all, I was boohoo crying every day. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep because I was so distraught behind this breakup. And I want you guys to know that there's beauty in breakups. A lot of times we don't realize the people that we're dating, and this is not in every case, but in some cases, we're not even supposed to be with these people, but yet we are with these people. A lot of times we're dating people who we shouldn't be dating or talking to people that we shouldn't even be talking to, but yet we are. And y'all, I'm sorry, my daughter is sick. She's in my background, so if you hear her, just let her be sickly in the background. We getting her together. But there is beauty in breakups, y'all. There's so much beauty in the middle of a breakup. Sometimes, like I said, the person you think you're supposed to be with, you're not even supposed to be with. God put you with this person, but it's not your person. He put this person in your life for maybe a few months, or maybe for a year, or maybe for 2 years. And he said, okay, Sherelle, or whomever's out there, I'm going to take this person out your life because they're not meant for you. And a lot of times God removes people from our lives because we aren't ready to do it ourselves. We're so scared, like, I ain't letting Johnny go. We see Johnny got a bunch of red flags. We know he's not meant for us. We're not happy with Johnny, but we don't want to let Johnny go because we want to be alone, right? And so God sees that and he's like, wait a minute. You gotta get out of this, Sherelle. You gotta move on from this because Johnny is not good for you. And we don't get that a lot of times. You have to look at the person that you're dating. A lot of people don't look at that. I think a lot of people tend to bypass that part of dating. They bypass the part of, is this person good for me? Does this person make me feel good? Is this person loving, caring? Do they have God in them? All these things we bypass when we get into relationships. And a lot of times in relationships, I found myself losing myself for that man. I would literally lose who I was just to make that man happy. Like even with YouTube, for example, I always wanted to take YouTube seriously, but never did it because I was so caught up in dating and relationships, and because of that I would put the man on top of what I wanted to do. So if I had hopes and dreams or job things I wanted to do, all that went on hold because I was in a relationship and that man came over that, which is something that should never happen. Because when you date somebody, you still should be able to follow your hopes and dreams and do what you want to do versus them getting in the way of what you have going on, correct? So that should never happen to begin with, because a relationship should be two people coming together who have separate lives from each other but still love each other and come together and still happy on their own, right? And a lot of my relationships were not like that. And so also within my last relationship, I noticed too, y'all, God was nowhere in my relationship. Like we didn't go to church, we didn't pray. I feel like God had just escaped from my life during that whole entire year of dating this man. And to me, that's a big one, y'all. It's a big one. The beauty in the breakup sometimes is that God is trying to tell us something. Just not about that person, but about ourselves. Now that you and Johnny are broken up, now that you and Shelly are not together, you can actually do the things that you want to do. Like you can finally get that job you want. You can finally go to that school you want to go to. You can finally follow your hopes and dreams. You can finally move to that other state you want to go to that Shelly didn't want you to move to. And so there's things you can do when you get out of that breakup. That's beautiful. Also, you can, like I said, you can, if you lost your relationship with God, you can get back with God. Now you can say that person is finally gone. Now I can go back to church. I can start praying. I can read my Bible every day. I can finally do the things that God is calling me to do. The beauty in it is a lot of times we lose ourselves in relationships. We get so caught up into that person that we no longer are who we used to be. We are just not ourselves anymore. I've been there, done that. Get into a relationship and you just be like, who is Sherelle? Because you look around and you're like, you lost all of you in that man or in that woman. And so it's beauty in breakups sometimes. It hurts when you get your heart broken. It hurts when you're crying on the floor. Because trust me, I did that last year. It hurts when you're not eating or sleeping. But what hurts more is staying with somebody who God does not intend you to be with. That's what hurts even more, because you could be with that person that God wants you to be with, but no, you're choosing to stay with Johnny knowing Johnny's not for you. And a lot of times we ignore the red flags. We meet these men or these women, we see the red flags, but because we're so smitten by certain things that they do and say to us, we just erase all that, put our blinders on and say, the heck with the red flags. I'm still going to date this person or be with this person. And we have to realize we can't do that. We got to start looking at a red flag and take it for what it is. That person, I always say this, one red flag leads to 1,000 more. I'm sorry, if you see one red flag, you're going to see 1,000 more. They're not just going to stop at that one red flag. And so it's important for us to decipher and also just to be aware. My daughter is looking at me like I'm crazy, y'all. But it's important. Like, usually I'll make these videos in front of her, so it's like, it's funny right now. But I'm trying to be serious and try to also be in mom mode. But yeah, so a lot of times we really don't recognize it. And so I was in a lot of relationships where the red flags would hit me in my face left and right. Like I'm like somebody throwing a snowball at me, but I still stayed because I thought this person was good for me. And that just wasn't the reality. And so that's another thing why I said there's beauty, because you ignored those red flags, right? And God still allowed you to get out of that situation. And I think a lot of times, even some cases, our friends would be like, girl, you and Johnny done broke up. Oh my God, I thought y'all was going to be this and that. We saw you posting on social media and all this stuff. And it's just like, your friends will be the ones that'll be like, making you feel bad for making that decision. But trust me, make the decision that's best for you, because there's a beauty in it. There's such a beauty in it. When I ended my last relationship, I was heartbroken, y'all. I was so heartbroken. And I didn't see a way out of my heartbreak. I was like, I'm just going through it. And I couldn't figure out why I got my heart broken the way I did. My ex did a lot of things to me. I did a lot of things to him too. But I recall him moving on 2 months after the breakup. And I was just devastated. Like, how could you move on so quick? Like, what were you thinking? Like, really? So it was like, you moved on that quick and just left me just out here struggling. And I remember being angry with him and bitter. And it just led to a lot of different things. But then I also remember saying, why did this happen to me? Why do you break up, God? Why is this happening? And all these things. And I had to sit with myself. And then it finally dawned on me in 2026 why God did what he did. God didn't reveal it to me then, but now I know why. I'm not going to say the reason why, but I will say I know now why the relationship did not work out. And I will say this too, me and my ex are actually really good friends now. We're better friends that now that we're not together than when we were together. We kind of realized that we're just better friends. And we both have that conclusion where we know, like, hey, it was not meant to be. It wasn't going to work. And we're good with that now. But it took time for us to get to that place of, because we were very angry with each other, y'all. Angry. And at the time, I couldn't see the beauty in the breakup, and neither could he. But now we both see why it didn't work, and we're okay with it. We're like, okay, it wasn't meant to be, cool. And that's why I want y'all listening to me to understand that breaking up with somebody is not the end of the world. It feels like it is, but most times when we break up, God is opening the doors for something so much better that you don't even realize you're going to see. You don't realize you're going to see. And one of the main things I'm going to preach to y'all whenever I speak on relationships, if you don't have God anywhere in your relationship, that's not for you. And I remember when that relationship ended, my dad looked at me and so did my mom, and they said, Sherelle, God was nowhere in that relationship. They said, did you honestly think it was going to work? They said, you stopped going to church, you wasn't praying, God was nowhere in your life. They said, did you think it was going to work? And they were right. And that was God. And my mom always says, Sherelle, God is a jealous God. And he is. He wants you to put him first. And I wasn't doing that. And when I ended that relationship, I was able to start reading my Bible, reading my Christian books, praying to God every day, gearing up to go to church. I started doing the things that I should have been doing in that relationship that I was not doing. It opened doors for me to do things that at first I didn't think that I could do or wanted to do. And so I realized there was a beauty in that breakup, because also now that I'm broken up, guys, the beauty is when I was in that relationship, I was not taking YouTube seriously. I wasn't doing my podcast. Everything even my life coaching, everything was put on the back burner like that. Now that I am out of that situation, I'm finally doing the things that I love to do. I'm doing podcasting. I'm back on YouTube. I have my life coaching website up again, and I'm doing the things that I want to do. I think we have to look at the beauty in things. We look at life, and as soon as something bad happens, we're immediately like, oh God, no. But there's beauty outside of these things, and breakups. There's beauty outside of it. Because you have to ask yourself, did that person bring out the best in me? Or did they bring me chaos and confusion? Most of my relationships was chaos and confusion. There was never any, it was always confusion. It was never any where I just knew what was going to happen or what was going to be said or whatever. I never knew. It was always just a bunch of chaos. And so I say to y'all, if your relationship is bringing you nothing but chaos and confusion, it's not for you. And there's beauty in that. Now that you're out of that, you can finally see clearly, right? You can kind of get that smudge off your glasses because you can see. And that's the beauty in it. The beauty in a breakup is if you and your girlfriends had stopped hanging out and you hadn't seen your girlfriend in about 2 years or a year because you were so caught up with that man or that woman, you know, now you finally can get back with your friends. Y'all can start doing girls' nights, guys' nights, going out, sleepovers, whatever y'all do, you know, but you can finally get that friendship back. Because I feel like a lot of times when I was getting into relationships, I would forget about my friends. You get so caught up in that person, you want to be with that person 24/7. You're like, I gotta be with Johnny 24/7. You don't want Johnny with his friends, he don't want you with his friends. Y'all just secluded together. And I'm gonna say this, y'all. It is not healthy to be up underneath your partner 24/7. Y'all need to breathe. That's one thing I've learned from especially from my past relationships. It is okay to hang with your partner, love on your partner, be with them, spend time with them, and whatever, talk on the phone, text, FaceTime, whatever y'all do. But you need to make it a habit to also spend time with your friends and family too. Have a life outside of them. Whether you take yourself shopping, take yourself on a date, whether you go shop, you know, whatever you choose to do on your own, because I don't know what y'all do, but whatever you choose to do, have something that you love, like pottery or painting or reading or something outside of that person. It is not healthy to be like this. And I used to be like that in all my relationships. I'd be like this with that man. I'm talking about like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like you would have to peel us apart. And looking back now, I'm like, Sherelle, you didn't have a life outside of that person. That person was your everything. And that's not healthy. So remember, y'all, have a life outside of your partner. Because now that you and that person are together, the beauty in it is you can finally be around your friends and family and do the things that you love to do. And another beauty thing you can look at too when it ends is that you learn something about yourself. Every relationship taught me something about who I was as a woman. It taught me something, whether good or bad. And so now that you and Johnny are not together, or you and Shelly are not together, because this pertains to men or women, doesn't matter. You can finally figure out who you are as a person. Because a lot of times, like I said, you lose yourself. Now you can finally focus on Sherelle or whomever, and you can finally love on you. The beauty is you get to love yourself now. You get to focus on you and do the things that you love and put yourself first, finally, right? That's the beauty in it. The beauty in it is you can finally see, like I said, learn those life lessons. You can figure out who you were in that relationship and what you want to change and what you don't want to do in your next situation. And you can also, if you're a person like me who's trying to heal, you can take the time to say, well, me and Johnny broken up. Now I can finally heal and do what I need to do for me. Take all the time you need. Heal, grow, figure out what's good for you and what you don't like and what you do like. The beauty in it is that you made it out. A lot of women, a lot of men are stuck in bad relationships right now. They haven't made it out. Whether they be abusive ones or just relationships where the person cheats on them, disrespects them, whatever. You made it out. They didn't. So look at the beauty in, okay, I made it out. This relationship was not suiting me anymore. It wasn't making me feel good. It wasn't uplifting me. I made it out. I'm done. I got out. Now I can go on and do what I need to do for me, right? So you have to look at all those things, the beauty, because what's wrong with things?
Is this wood?
Yeah, it's wood cleaner. So you can see the beauty in everything, you guys. And I think a lot of times we can't always see that. But there's beauty in everything. You know, losing someone's not the end of the world. We make it seem like a breakup is so bad. Trust me, I've been there because I'd be like, oh my God, I told y'all last time my breakup was horrible. But there's not always a bad side to a breakup. There's some beautiful things involved too. We can look at it and go, God, well, there's beauty in this. And it doesn't always have to end so hateful and spiteful. It can end in a beautiful thing where you and that person can just come to a conclusion that it wasn't meant to be, and that's fine. Y'all may be able to remain friends or just come to a conclusion that, hey, this is a truce, it didn't work, and it's fine. So you figure it out as you continue to go. But there's beauty in it. Y'all, my daughter trying to clean. She's trying to do chores. My poor baby, I'm all on her way. I'm going to try to wrap this up soon so she can get her cleaning done. She's like, Mommy, I want to clean. Let me get out her way. And she got slight colds. I'm like, let my baby do her cleaning and everything. Whatever she want to do to feel better. But I say all this to say there's beauty in everything. It was a song by J. Cole, and he used to always say there's beauty in the struggle. And I used to love some J. Cole, y'all. Still love J. Cole. Oh, my God. Love J. Cole. And he used to always say there's beauty in the struggle. And there is. We look at struggle. We look at certain things in life and think there's no beauty. And there's beauty in everything in life. So when you go through that breakup and you go through that heartbreak, there is beauty in the struggle of that. Whether you want to look at it, people can look at your relationship and go, God, well, it didn't work out. I told her he won't. And you can look at it and go, so what? I went through it. I'm out of it. And I learned something about myself through it. And there's beauty in it. And I want you guys listening to me to know that don't get so caught up in the sadness of a breakup and the oh my God, everything is ruined, life's not the same. No, look at the beauty in it. You're done, you're out, but now you can do so much more and focus on you. And I think a lot of us have that issue. We so focused on other people that we're not even looking at ourselves. Like, focus on you. Sometimes relationships will put you in situations where you don't even know who you are because you're so caught up on that person. You know everything about them, but nothing about yourself. So you got to learn you and start to love you and put you where you need to be in your life. And so I want you guys to know, again, there's beauty. Look at me now, y'all. I'm out of my relationship, okay? I'm finally back taking YouTube seriously. Got my podcast. I'm focusing on my daughter. Got my job. I got everything that I need and more. And guess what? It didn't kill me. Breakups don't kill you guys. I promise you. It just hurts for a little bit and you might struggle, but there's beauty in it. There's a sunshine outside that you're going to see when you get out of it. And you're going to look back and be like, God did this for a reason. God took me for a reason. God let me see what my future could have been, but now I know what it's going to be. So look at the beauty in the breakup, y'all, because there's beauty inside of every single breakup. There's beauty inside of every single situation that you go through in your life. Don't look at everything as a negative. See the positives in everything that God is doing for you. And I promise you, life is going to start opening so many doors. You're going to be like, oh, God is making a way for me, right? You really are going to say those things because it's going to be beautiful for you. And so that's why it was so important for me to make this video tonight, because I was like, so many people I was thinking to myself today, some people look at breakups as a bad thing, including I've been there too. But let's look at the beauty in it. Let's look at the beauty and let's look at the part where God is showing us who we are and taking us in out of a situation that's bad for us and moving us to something even better, moving us to something even better. I'm talking too fast, y'all. But look at the beauty in it. And so if you don't take anything from this video, just know that you are beautiful and look at the beauty in that breakup. Look at the beauty in it. Look at the outside door. Open your door, peek outside, look at the sun and see that even though this didn't go the way you wanted to, you learned a lot about who you are as a person. And you get to love you now. And you dodged the bullet. Like my therapist always says, Sheree, you dodged the bullet. Okay? Look, you dodged the bullet because it wasn't what you wanted it to be. And I want you to take that from this, y'all, tonight. There's beauty in the breakup. Thank you guys for tuning in, y'all. But I'm about to get out my daughter way. She's like cleaning all around me. She ready to go. Shaking cameras and all. So thank y'all for tuning in, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be notified when I drop this video for y'all. And remember, guys, there's beauty in the breakup. I will see you guys soon. Bye.